Welcome to White Tiger Ground Fighting Volume 2. First thing that we're going to go over is some chokes. That is probably, in my opinion, the best technique when you go to the ground. Arm bars, things like that's okay, but by far and away, the choke is the best. The person can be on drugs, can be drunk, can be anything. He cannot resist a choke. So we're going to go over a few of the chokes that we do and show you how we train them in the easiest and most safest way. Down. From this position is the best way to start. I mean, when you have new students, I mean, the chokes are very dangerous. You have blood chokes and you have breath chokes. We're going to be doing some of both in this series of chokes that we're going to be doing. Okay, the first one, remembering two things. Turn around this way. Whichever leg that you have up, that's going to be the arm that engulfs, that's going to be your major working arm, or it's going to be the arm that is wrapped around the throat. And you always want to make sure that you're on the balls of your feet so you can drive into the person to get the choke. Back around towards the camera. So, to get that out of the way, the first one, this is called a blood scarf, I call it. And anytime you put a choke on, you don't ever want to take your hand way out here because your attacker can grab it. Basically, you want to be like a snake and slither it in around close to the neck. Okay, the first one is the blood being the jugular vein. That's what we're choking off. It's a little less dangerous than the breath, so we'll do that. Okay, coming around, basically what you want to be able to do is the joint on your thumb. As soon as you can see that, that's where you want to be at. And you're going to put your hands palm to palm. You're going to pull it in, put your shoulder into the back of his head, and you're going to pull this hand, and this is going to turn in this direction. Okay? That's number one. Let's do it one more time. Wrap around, going all the way till you can see the main joint on the thumb. In. Out. You see it does not take very long. And this is the portion of the arm that you want to choke with, from that joint to here. The radial bone part of your arm. That's the best choking part. Okay, now number two. This is called breath scarf. You're taking the breath away from him. The first one, we're cutting the blood off to his brain. Now we're cutting the breath off. This is a more dangerous choke. Same thing, you always do this. You never come out around and then come in. You want to stay close into it. And the same thing, looking straight up, you'll see that joint. You'll go palm to palm, put your shoulder in, and lock. Slowly. It does not take, I'm not putting hardly any pressure on him at all, and he's slapping out. Doesn't take anything at all. One more time. Around, thumb joint, in, and lock. Okay? Number three, I call Python. Some people call it sleeper, but I call it Python. Basically, you want to wrap it around, the same thing. This hand comes up and just rests on top of your shoulder, on top of his shoulder, and you put your hand right on the bicep, not grabbing with the thumb. You do not want to grab with the thumb. Okay? Once you get that on, taking the head, you want to take the head in the same direction as you have this choke, and you do the same thing. You're doing this with the arm while I push with this part of the arm. Okay? Turn it to that side. Okay? Squeezing in with this. Very mean little choke. Okay? One more time. Around to here. Back behind the head, using your head too if you need. This is doing this. While this is doing this at the same time. That's how you want to apply that choke. Okay? Make sure you get close. Okay? That's number three. Number four is a scissor. Same thing, we're going to be using a lapel on this one. Okay? A t-shirt. If you don't really go freaky on these chokes, if a person is wearing a t-shirt, you can apply these chokes. Okay? You want to take the hand and you want to grab until you can always see that joint on your thumb. It has to be at least that far on his throat. Okay? And this hand, all it does is drop right behind the back of his neck and rest on your arm. You're doing this with your arm. This time you're pulling I'm doing that action with the wrist. Okay. Okay. The scissor, like this. Okay. Okay. It's number 4. Number 5 that we're going to go over is another variation of what we call a half Nelson scissor. Here, in the arm, taking it out, put it on the back of the head, put your hand on the back of the head, you're pushing back on the head, drawing the arm back, and pulling using your wrist. Okay? Tie. Round. See the joint. Come out high on the arm. Have the head. Just lean backwards. Wrist action. Doesn't take much at all to get that choke in. Okay? Next, we're going to do these chokes standing. Okay? Cross lapel chokes. You can do these palm up, palm down. It does not matter. We're only going to do one variation and kind of give you the idea on how to do them. You can do them palm up, palm down, or cross. You can have one palm up, one palm down. It does not matter with the cross lapel choke once you do it. We're going to do the one with the palm up. Okay? You want to grab high on the collar. You want to grab high on the collar with these. And only thing basically you do with this choke is just bring your arms down to your center. You can do this in ground fighting. It's a very good choke. Okay? I'll make sure that these bones on each side of the neck cutting off the blood and wind. Okay? Here. Okay? Just take it down. That's all you have to do. Just cross the belt. Next one is called the guillotine. Okay? I like to use the base. It takes less time. A lot of people like to go right here with it. I feel that it takes longer to have it applied. You use your body as a base. In other words, have him right in front of you, wrapping the arm around where the thumb is right there, and doing the same thing that you did with the scarf hold on the ground. That's your choke. You can do this on the ground as well, using your body, get part of your body on top of the head as a base. Okay? The next and last one we're going to go over I call vice. You can do this standing, and you can do this choke on the ground. Basically, one arm is viced up against the head. You do the same entrance as you would do in all the other chokes. You want to make sure your shoulder is pinned up against his tricep. You go here, and you do your wrist action. Should be right in the blood. Okay?